Hey, Rebel Rouser. This is Alan Voivod, and this is Star Wars 7x7. Well, it's so funny because I'm traveling and I just recorded 9 episodes. 9 episodes of the podcast to put in the bank so that way I would be able to relax during the vacation and not have to chase the podcast on a daily basis. And wouldn't you know it, today would be the day that Lucasfilm decides, oh yeah, let's drop the announcement about episode 9 filming, right? Perfect timing, Lucasfilm, perfect timing. So here we go with a bonus episode of the podcast. And yeah, it's about time that they finally announced that. It's going to be August 1st. That is the date that principal photography begins on episode 9. August 1st, that's next Wednesday coming up. And that filming begins at Pinewood Studios, not on location. Now, there are 2 names that are brand new, so the names that you'll be hearing about a lot are Naomi Ackie and Richard E. Grant. Naomi's name is actually very brand new. She's a comparative newcomer to the screen and won a Most Promising Newcomer Award at the British Independent Film Awards last year. Richard E. Grant, however, has been around for quite a while, and I'll tell you, he's got a face for a villain. You know, that's not to say that he's ugly or anything like that, just that's brutally handsome, I think is probably what you'd call it. But yeah, this guy looks like he is going to be a baddie in there. And he was most recently in things like The Hitman's Bodyguard. You might know him as the voice of someone named Preston in Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties. Also, he played Bob Cratchit in a 1999 adaptation of A Christmas Carol. And you can see him as the Snow Realm King in this fall's Nutcracker and the Four Realms movie. So you'll be able to get a look at him prior to his episode 9 appearance. He was also in Bram Stoker's Dracula, the 1992 movie, and he's done a ton of stuff before and since. And then, of course, Billy Dee Williams has been officially it's like now it's real. It's absolutely the real thing that he is reprising his role as Lando Calrissian. It's the real deal. But the biggest news out of this whole thing is that Carrie Fisher is actually returning in a fashion for episode 9. So with the blessing of Billy Lord, there is going to be footage of Carrie Fisher that J.J. Abrams shot for The Force Awakens that is going to be used for episode 9 somehow. So here's the official thing that he said about it. It says, we desperately loved Carrie Fisher, says Abrams, finding a truly satisfying conclusion to the Skywalker saga without her eluded us. We were never going to recast or use a CG character. With the support and blessing from her daughter, Billy, we have found a way to honor Carrie's legacy and role as Leia in episode 9 by using unseen footage we shot together in episode 7, quote, unquote. And we also have the verification that John Williams will return for episode 9 as well. So Carrie Fisher appearing via unused Force Awakens footage. That is going to be fascinating. How they decide to do that is a whole other thing. Are they going to use digital manipulation to take her out of the environments in which they filmed her and add her into whatever environments that they have for episode 9? I mean, it certainly seems like a possibility. There's only 2 places that we saw Leia in The Force Awakens, and that was on Takodana when she arrived at Maz Kanata's castle, and on Dakar, and that was outdoors and also inside their base. So, I guess outfits are an issue too, but hey, movie making magic and wizardry, that could be interesting. And the other bit of it too is the whole dialogue situation. So Rian Johnson had talked about how doing their ADR, which is the looping that they have to do in case some of the dialogue that they filmed on set can't be heard clearly, and it was some very painstaking, exacting work to reconstruct her dialogue and make it so that it was totally usable for The Last Jedi in the way that they wanted to use it. Don't know what that means for episode 9, and they're saying unseen footage, but what about unseen dialogue? Don't know the answer to that one just yet. So maybe she's going to be shown and not speaking. I don't know, but I have to say, it's a good solution so far, at least on the face of it as presented. I'm pretty pleased with it. And the other just, small interesting thing that's a little puzzling is that the press release on the website says release is scheduled for December 2019. So as far as anybody knows, the date was pretty much set as December 20th of 2019. So why it wouldn't just say December 20th, 2019, I don't know. Maybe they're going to kick it up to the 13th or something like that. That would be interesting. I haven't looked I know I was talking about the dates that we have to watch for episode 9 the other day, but I haven't looked to see what is happening on December 13th or 20th. Comparatively speaking, I know that there's just a ton of movies still releasing in November and December anyway that it's got to watch out for. So anyway, it's kind of interesting that they left the date out on there. I mean, don't put your conspiracy theory tinfoil hats on just yet, but, just looking at the details, that's all. So there you have it. Episode 9 begins filming on August 1st, 2018, Wednesday in Pinewood Studios. And Billy Dee Williams reprising his role as Lando officially. Carrie Fisher appearing via unused and unseen footage from The Force Awakens. Newcomers Naomi Ackie and Richard E. Grant joining the cast. And no mention of Kerry Russell, interestingly enough. So don't know whether she's going to be part of this whole shindig or not. Greg Grunberg also not mentioned, although he was apparently hinting at San Diego Comic-Con that there was only one reason he was growing a beard, and that would be so that he can be Snap Wexley in episode 9 too. So we'll have to see how that turns out. Anyway, thank you so much for checking out this bonus episode of the podcast. Again, I'm Alan Voivod, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. May the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.